Hi, it's Lynn Shuck with Healing and Balance. You're going to need a block today, or it could even be a Kleenex box or something, a rolled up towel, something that you can put between your knees or your thighs. It doesn't have to weigh much, that's not the point, but it shouldn't crunch if you have to squeeze it a little bit. Doesn't require a lot of pressure, so a Kleenex box will work. Okay, having said that, we're about to do what I call the active twist. Lots of twists are active. This is the one I call active twist though, because it doesn't have any other name that I know of, and I use it a lot in my classes. There are lots of different ways to twist. In this one, when you're lying down, your shoulders are going to stay put and your lower body's what's going to move. So that means your pelvis is going to move, which is what takes the twist into the lumbar and thoracic spine. The pelvis itself isn't twisting, it's moving, creating the twist in the spine. We're going to do it two different ways, one of which gives you a little more stability of your shoulders by having the arms out to the side on the floor. It also lets you use that for leverage. So we'll go ahead and start with that one. I'm going to be a little bit, I think you can see everything. So I'm putting the block between my knees the skinny way. You could also place it at the top of your thighs if you want to wake up that inner thigh action and support the hips a little. Doesn't matter which you do, we can do both. But the first version is arms out to the side. You can have palms up or down. You want to keep your feet apart, don't let them come together. And you're going to keep your shoulders glued to the floor, and you're going to take your legs over to one side, however far you go without falling, and then bring your legs back up over you. And then we'll go to the other side, and you'll see my hip lifts off the floor because my pelvis is moving. It takes my lower body over, and that takes my spine into a twist, and I come back. Now, having done that, if I do it, you'll see there's a tendency when the legs come over for the feet to come together. So keep those feet apart. So that's one version of it where the arms are working a little bit as leverage and stability. I like to also make this much more about core and strength in the trunk. So now that you've done it with your arms out, let's take the arms up to the ceiling, pull the shoulder blades onto the floor. We're going to try not to move the arms or the shoulders. They might move some, but you don't want to be like pulling them one way while the legs go the other. So arms up to the ceiling and they stay there. We're going to take the legs and pelvis over to one side, one hip comes up, and you only go as far as you go without falling, and you come back to center. And we go to the other side, again, hip comes up, go as far as you go without falling, and we come back to center. If you go too far, this happens. So, and you might go further than I do, trying to see how far can you go with control and then be able to bring your pelvis back to the floor. Lift the hip up, legs go over to one side, and bring your pelvis back to the floor. Now, if you want to add some work here, you can add to this outer hip and thigh strength by taking the feet wider apart than your knees. So it looks like that. And take that same movement. It's really challenging. That may not be good for your hips right now, depending on your strength and your ability. So you can do that. And again, as I said before, you could put the block between your thighs and really squeeze in at the top of your thighs as you go and see what that does. That actually lets me twist a little bit farther. It might not be visible, but it feels more controlled a little bit farther. So that's the active twist. It ain't easy. I wouldn't recommend doing too many of them. I didn't talk about the breath. Generally, when we twist, you would exhale as you move into the twist. So exhale as the legs go over, and inhale as you come out of the twist and the spine is straightening out. However, this twist, it's really hard to get your legs back up, pelvis back onto the floor. And so sometimes we exhale on the effort of a pose. So if you find you're inhaling as your legs go over and exhaling to come back, that may be where you need to put your breathing. There are rules about breath, but there's always a good reason to break these rules. So listen to what your body needs. See if you can breathe on one part of the breath as you twist, the other part as you come out. Go play with this active twist. See what it does for you.